Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and we're in here at the Rutland Lathe. For those of you that have been asking, hey, how about the next steam wagon video? Coming soon, okay? Tonight, we're out here. Thunderstorm's passing by. I don't really want to run my big computer, so I thought I'd come out here, and at least if we don't lose lights, we can do this review. Speaking of lights, Auxbeam sent us this LED light. We were showing it just the other day, and this is a 32-inch beam here, and this is really built and made for automotive applications. But I was talking to Alice there on the phone or on the internet here, typing back and forth, and she wanted me to give it a try and see if it wouldn't be sufficient lighting for the lathe here. Now, more so than not, I want to progress to LED lighting in the shop. And I have John Laughlin, and I also have Stan Zinkowski that are giving me information on what I actually need to go with, and there's a couple options actually out there of actually taking. I have 32 plus 4-foot double bulb fluorescent lights in here, and when I turn them on in the shop here, and most of them come on. It does get chilly out here at night, and through the winter I do 30, 34, 35. I think, because I didn't count the shelter I have out there, and there's another one down in the shed, and regardless, it's still a lot of fluorescent lighting. And the ballast and the bulbs aren't cheap anymore. They're going up, and of course LED lighting is coming down somewhat. But what is the most economical way to go for changing out in the shop? I'm going to be thinking about it down the road. But this leads off, and let's see if off-road custom light beam is right for your Rutland lathe. All right, so I'm going to get this mounted up, and then we're going to start hooking up some things there, and then we're going to see what this doodad does. All right. Okay. This has a wiring harness. We'll be plugging into this end of it, and we're going to put this end of it over this way here. And all fairness, this has got some nice adjustable brackets on it, and we're not going to use them, but because we're not going to be putting this against the car roof or whatever. But there's some nice rubber pads that actually help mount this with a rubber mount, so you're not hard on metal. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take a couple deck screws, drywall screws, coarse screws, and I'm going to hold this up here, and right there, and we'll put this next one in back here, and we're gonna put it in line with our rafter here. All right, now it has adjustment on it because those ends have like serrations on there. Now that's almost pointing back towards the compound there. I think I want to angle it a little bit out this way, trying to hit center line. There we go. Let's take a look at that. Okay. Probably going to be, that's one click, so I think that's about as close as we'll get to actually mounting it right there and pointing down towards the center of the lathe bed. Okay, there's a little bit of a harness that goes through, and it gives you Bluetooth controller there and a receptacle there. You have a free button for changing your modes, and then this harness here, one leads to the battery, And we have a power supply up here already, but we're just going to be tagging in with some clips. And you have your on and off here, and your other connection that controls the light itself. All right, so we're going to plug our pieces in here. Okay, after getting things neatly zip tied to the overhead here so that we can hold this thing in place without everything hanging in, I even neatened up some of my my camera cables that I got running in here for my shop cameras, which one of these days they'll be put away neat. All right, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our jumpers and we're going to go ahead and put our clamps on here, and we're going to go ahead and put these onto our power supply here for this test. And we're going to give ourselves some 12 volts there. All right, now I think we're ready to see how this light actually looks above the Rutland. All right, let's change angles here. Okay, this is the normal lighting around the shop. Now I got one behind me that's really for the rollers. I have this light here, and normally I did have another fluorescent that hung on this side here, because that one it was just, it's not enough light, more than I like. I like a lot of light, but I had enough with four foot fluorescents over my head. The other one I put over there, the one with the oil mark on it, and actually there's a little bit of oil on here where when I looped up them jaws, it flung a little oil. But it kind of reminded me that I didn't even wipe off the light there the other day when I cleaned up the lathe after doing the roughing out. Okay, this is RGBW LED light bar. Bluetooth control, mobile connection, simple fashion, do-it-yourself effects, and it is a 12 volt system. So luckily I had a 12 volt power supply that usually sits on my desk, so that, and I got it after I got the Porsche, because I had to sit down on a regular basis and test relays. Which is, I think every desk should have a 12 volt power supply on it. Anyway, right now I have it up on the shelf. This is all set, ready to go. I kind of made it so that I had the on and off button right here, and here we go. Boom. All right, now I'm kind of looking in the camera, and I'm seeing it is a bright light. Whether it's actually not productive on video and right up close, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera in here a little bit closer, and we're going to see. I was getting ready to pull out this collet. I had a job that I had to do hold a 1-inch National Fine thread and do a little bit of work on the end of it for a customer. He picked up that job, so I'm all done. So I can start getting the steam wagon hoe job back in here. And so I'll be taking and setting up a faceplate, which I have a faceplate, but I need to put the dogs on the back. I have a set of dogs, so we'll get going on that. And then we're going to start setting up, and we're going to start setting up running between centers. I don't know if I actually need to run between centers yet, but let's go ahead and we'll start getting it and getting it going. But we're checking out the lighting here. Okay, now it does have other color options, and with the push of the button, it does have, maybe if I turn off my other colors here, okay, we got the disco going now. However you disco. Been so long now I forgot how. You also got solid colors that you can adjust your tone to if you like your greens, your reds, your blues, yellowish, purples, another tinge of blues, and we go back to full power. Okay, let's bring it in and see if it actually affects anything with video camera, because that is the one thing that would hinder me running this light at all up here above my lathe. Besides, you know, costing more juice or having extra harness hanging from the ceiling. Let's check it out. I've moved you in closer, and just for general purposes, I went ahead. Let's find at least we have something here as a subject. This was the grade 8. This is a piece of grade 8. I needed to have the full hard strength of a good piece of threading. This is 1-inch National Fine, I think 14. And so anyway, I had to have the threads on the outside, and I did some machining and another internal thread, and then I parted it off. So anyway, I was holding that in the collet there, and that's why I had to call it in here. All right, just for, you've been watching here now for just a couple seconds there, watching me put that in there. And the LED light is on, and you can see the quality of lighting, and you see bright surfaces here, and you might see some shadowing. I don't know, is my skin the right color, you know? Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to shut it off. Camera adjusts. Now you have natural tones. Now there was another fluorescent light just like the one that's right by my head shining down on here before, and it was pretty adequate. Now I run lighting on my camera. I have LEDs, but LED soft bulbs that almost give you a natural lighting, and I find that they work really well. So this gives you an idea of the bright LED or not. Bright LED, say that 10 times real fast. Bright LED, off. Bright LED, off. You vote. Okay, I'm getting ready to take down the Auxbeam light here, and I really want to thank the gang at Auxbeam for sending it out to me and giving it an honest review. Hey, it's a great I like everything about your product. It's just not the right product for the lathe here. So I'm going to go ahead and take it on down, and I'll box it back up, and we'll get it shipped back to you. I want to thank you very much again for giving me the opportunity to put it up and give it a try. All right, until next time, get her done.